free to sit up on something or have something behind you. But as you start to settle in, maybe just coming into a few rounds of deeper breath. And as things start to soften, perhaps the eyes would like to close. But of course, if that doesn't feel safe today for any reason, you can keep them open, just maybe soften the gaze. Just starting to come into this moment, carving out and differentiating this time from the rest of the day. Trying to leave all that has come before aside for a moment, as well as trying your best not to leap forward into what might happen right after practice, but just staying connected to the present moment. I'm starting first to direct the attention into the physical body. And starting to become aware of the support below you, the air around you. Coming to realize your edges and boundaries, the space between you and the world. And starting to feel the spine stacking tall over the pelvis, gently releasing the shoulders away from the ears. Slight tuck of the chin towards the chest. A little reach out through the crown of the head. The back of the neck is long, and the whole back body starting to come alive and awake, but without any strain. I'm starting now to take a gentle inventory of the physical body. And as you go along, noticing any areas that already feel open, wide, spacious, and strong. And any areas that feel a little less so. Maybe you can also start to identify areas that you might be carrying tension that perhaps you don't need. Maybe between the eyebrows, around the cheeks or the jaw, maybe the neck or the shoulders, maybe the belly, or maybe the hands or the feet. And as you locate those areas, seeing if you can direct a few rounds of breath right to them, allowing them to melt and soften and release. And starting to move your attention to your emotional body, your mood this evening. As always, being kind and gentle to yourself in this part of the checking in. Just being aware that so many different things could arise, but that everything you find is okay, is valid. Just seeing if you can notice what there is and greet it with curiosity instead of judgment. Now taking a moment to move the attention to your mental body, noticing the pace of the mind, the rhythm of the thoughts, noticing if the mind still feels quite active from the day, or maybe it's a bit later for you and the mind has been able to slow down a little. Starting to see if you can track the thoughts as they enter, acknowledge them, and then gently allow them to slip on their way. Doing your best not to get too invested in any one thought that comes along. And starting to move your attention to your breath, noticing the rhythm, the depth, the cadence, maybe even the temperature. Noticing the quality of the breath. Is it moving quickly or slowly? Does it feel smooth and round? Or maybe shallow and a little choppy? Does it feel easier to create the inhale or easier to create the exhale? Noticing which parts of the body are active on the in breath and which parts are active on the out breath. Starting to see if you can sense the breath expanding the torso in all four directions. Forward through the chest and the belly, out to the sides through the rib cage and the waist, and around to the lower spine, lower ribs. So that every inhale gently inflates and every exhale gently releases. And as we prepare to sit a little bit deeper this afternoon, I'll offer the seed for our practice today, and that is the concept of play. We often think second nature for children to play. We understand that they need to, but sometimes we forget that as adults, we also need that sense of lightness, that sense of joy that comes from playing or from trying something new. And if we forget to nurture that piece for ourselves, it suddenly becomes that much harder to do the serious things we'd like to get done. So we'll balance in our practice today a sense of play with the sense of effort. And for this next little space of time together, we'll introduce a sense of play with the breath. I'll guide you through a gentle breath exercise. But if at any point in time it feels uncomfortable, you can just release any counting and resume your natural breath rhythm. And we'll begin by matching the length of the inhale to the length of the exhale. I'll start by counting us together, and I'll let you continue on your own. So we'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale 4, 2, 1. Inhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Exhale, 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing on your own in that pattern for 3 more full rounds of breath. If it feels comfortable to do so, we'll begin adding a pause after the inhale. We'll inhale for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Continuing that pattern, if it feels comfortable, for 3 more full rounds of breath on your own. Adding a pause after the exhale on this next round, if it feels comfortable. Inhaling for 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 1. Inhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 1. Exhale. 4, 3, 2, 1. Pause. 2, 1. And continuing with this pattern for 3 more full rounds of breath. And after you finish your 3rd full round, just eliminating the pausing, coming back into the 4 count inhale and the 4 count exhale for 3 full rounds of breath. And gently releasing any counting, just allowing the breath to return to its natural rhythm. Just taking one last moment to notice what you found with that exploration and play with the breath. And then as you feel ready, gently blinking the eyes open, or just sharpening the gaze, coming back into the room. And very gently starting to roll the shoulders up and back as we start to move towards the movement portion of the practice. Just keeping the breath smooth and light. As that feels comfortable, starting to create some larger circles, now leading with the elbows. Starting to notice the shoulder blades moving and gliding across the upper spine. Maybe some sound effects. And gradually making your way towards full arm circles as it feels ready for your body. Keeping some energy through the fingers as you go. Maybe 1 or 2 more full rounds here. And eventually stopping with both arms up overhead in a big wide V. Just taking a deep breath in here, receiving. And then on the exhale, bringing the hands and the arms parallel towards the earth, so straight out in front. And then taking a moment, cross the right arm underneath the left so that the cross is at the elbow joints. And then inhale to bring the hands to the shoulders. So just giving yourself a little bit of a hug here, a gentle little shoulder stretch. Breathing into the space between the shoulder blades. And then on the inhale, stretching the arms back out long in front, just breathing here for a moment. And then we'll take the opposite, crossing the left arm under the right, hooking at the elbow joints, and then bringing the hands towards the shoulders, the opposite hug. Just noticing if anything feels different here. And once again, breathing into the space between the shoulder blades. And gently inhaling the arms out long, 1 more big reach, like you could hug someone outside your screen. And then gently bend the elbows and interlace the fingers. And then start to take those figure 8s with the wrists. Just warming up through the fingers and the forearms a little bit here. And once that direction feels good, then swap and go the other way. Good. And then gently shaking out the hands. And then we'll carefully make our way towards hands and knees on the mat. If you were sitting on something, you can move it to the side. And then for those of you who are using it, this is a great time to grab your padding and place it down in the middle of the mat. Otherwise, you'll come right towards your hands and knees. And then always, these first few rounds of breath here are for that sense of play, indulging in whatever movement would feel good for you. Maybe spine waves, maybe hip circles or figure 8s, maybe bending 1 elbow at a time, getting into the shoulder blades, maybe playing with or extending 1 leg at a time, rocking into the toes. Just working out the cobwebs of the day and just following that body, your body's natural urge to experiment. Let it tell you what it would like. Maybe 2 or 3 more full breaths to explore here. Great job out there. Starting to make your way towards some type of stillness over the next breath or so. Once you do arrive, just checking to see that the hands are slightly ahead of the shoulders, that the knees are right underneath the hips here. Planting through the hands. On an inhale, extend that left leg long behind you. Long reach with the toes, pressing the hands into the mat. Little attention in the low belly. Yes, yeah. And then from here on the inhale, keeping the hips level and the spine long, left leg stays long, but left toes start to reach out towards the left, just a little. So we don't want to get this bowing in the spine. So just moving to the side a little, and then exhale to return that leg long behind you. We'll take that twice more. Inhale to slide that left leg to the left a little. Yes. Exhale, neutral, back behind you. Good. 1 more time. Yep, that's it. Inhale out to the side. And then exhale long behind you. Hold here. If you'd like to take a balance, you can shift the weight into the left hand. Maybe bring the right hand towards your heart. Still keeping that same level pelvis, smooth breath. And then gently allowing all the lifted limbs to find the earth. And then we'll take that on the second side. Gripping the mat with the fingers, press the hands into the mat as you inhale that right leg long behind you. Long reach here out through the toes, lifting the belly. And then as you feel ready on the inhale, sliding that right foot out to the right, just a few inches, keep the pelvis level. And then exhale back long behind you, twice more. Inhale that right leg out towards the right. Yes, yeah, you got it. Exhale back long behind you. Last time, inhale, open to the right. Exhale long behind you, hold right here. If you'd like to balance, you'll shift the weight to the right hand, bring the left hand towards the heart. Scoop in through the low belly, press into that right hand on the earth. And gently inhale all the lifted limbs back towards the earth. Press into the hands to inhale that left leg long behind you once again. This time on the exhale, stepping the left foot to the outside of the left hand. And it can stay pretty wide here, almost to the very edge of the mat. Then you'll lighten up on your fingertips and inhale your arms up towards the sky, coming into your low lunge. Very nice. Good. Taking a moment to really arrive here. And then on the exhale, allow the arms to come parallel towards the earth once again. And then we'll take that right arm underneath the left, just as we did before, hooking at the elbows. Maybe bringing the hands towards the shoulders. This could be your work right here. If you feel like there's a little more space in the shoulders and the upper back, then you can inhale to extend the arms, reaching the backs of the hands together. So the cross remains at the elbows, but now the backs of the hands are touching. Maybe if there's even more space, you'll take the right fingers and touch the open palm of the left hand. So you're coming into eagle arms. Great. And then from here, wherever you are with the arms, on the inhale, lifting the elbows up. So really stretching through the shoulder blades here. And then on the exhale, your choice, either just bringing the elbows down towards the belly or starting to hinge forward, bring the forearms down towards that left leg. You can come as little or as far as you'd like here. And then on the inhale, push into that left foot, use the belly, lift the elbows and the torso all the way back up. Maybe this time you'll tip into a little bit of a back bend, just an option. You can stay neutral. On the exhale, connect to the belly, come through center, and then either just elbows towards the chest or starting to dive down somewhere towards the inside of that left leg. Maybe if you're diving, a little lower this time. We'll do that one more full round. Press into the left foot to rise. Elbows start to lift, arms lift up. Maybe there's a little back bend happening. And then exhale, connect to the belly, come back through neutral. And then you decide, maybe elbows squeezing towards midline, maybe body dropping down. Yes, y'all, really nice. Breathing smooth and steady. This time on the inhale, using the belly, come rising back up just to your neutral. One last breath to lift the elbows up in your eagle arms. And then unthread the arms, sweeping them out towards the sides and then right up towards the ceiling on the inhale, creating that circle. Yes. And then exhaling, hands towards the heart. And then keep going, hands plant on the inside of that left foot. Press into the hand so that you can swim your left leg back on the inhale. Connect the left toes to the mat behind you. Connect the sole of the left foot to the mat behind you, toes pointing towards the long edge of the mat. Roll the weight towards the right hand, sweeping the left arm from the back of the mat overhead. So you're in your gate pose with the arm overhead. You're coming into a little bit of a side bending stretch here. Inhale to turn the chest open towards the left. Yes, yeah, these look really great. One more breath here. And then on the exhale, look down, draw that left arm towards the top of the mat, and then plant it next to your right, and then allow the left knee to find the earth as well. And we'll take that whole thing on the second side, pressing the hands into the mat, inhaling that right leg long behind you, and then exhale to step the right foot to the outside of the right hand. Again, it can stay pretty wide, especially if you know you're going to go diving. Then come light around the fingers. And then inhale both arms up towards the sky. Coming into your full low lunge for a moment. Yes, you got it. Breathing smooth and steady here. And then exhaling both hands parallel to the earth. This time the left arm will come underneath the right. Bend at the elbows. Once again, you could choose to give yourself that little hug and just stay right here. You can do all the work we did, including the diving and back bending with the arms here. Or maybe inhale to straighten through the forearms, bring the backs of the hands together. And then maybe decide, maybe left fingers now touch the base of the right palm. Wherever arm position you've chosen, see if you can lift the elbows up on the inhale. Yes, that's it. And then on the exhale, either bringing the elbows towards the chest or starting to take a little dive, hinging at that right hip, bringing the arms wherever you'd like. It doesn't have to be your deepest one this first round. And then inhale, push into the right foot, bringing the torso back up level, lift the elbows. And then your option, maybe you'd like to start to take it back, little back bend here. And then on the exhale, use your belly, come back up to neutral first. And then either arms come towards the chest or whole body starts to dive to the inside of that right leg. Maybe there's space to come a little lower now. And one more full round. Inhale, press into that right foot. Bring yourself back up to neutral first. Then you decide, maybe lift the elbows, maybe start to tip back, taking a little back bend here. Exhale to come back to neutral, strong belly. Then either just bringing the elbows close or starting to come down, dipping down as far as you will like. Your hip will tell you when to stop. And then gently press into that right foot, come back up to neutral. And then one last lift of the elbows if you're in your full eagle wrap here. And then exhale to free the arms, untangle. And then as you start to inhale, sweep the arms out and around. Exhale, hands return to your heart. Nice, yeah. And then all the way to the mat, planting the hands on the inside of that right foot. Taking enough purchase with your hands so that on the inhale, you can free your right leg long behind you. Then exhale to connect the right toes to the mat. And then connecting the right sole of the foot to the mat, toes turned toward the long edge. Roll the weight into the left hand, and then gently sweep that right arm from the back of the mat overhead. You're in your side bending version of gate pose on the other side. Yes, y'all. If you can tip the torso back a little bit so that you're really spinning the ribs open. Yes. One more breath here. And then exhale, look down, take that right hand stretching towards the top of the mat, then plant it next to your left, and then allow the left knee to find the earth as well. Great job. From here, walking the hands slightly ahead of the shoulders, checking once again that the knees are right underneath the hips. Squeeze the mat with your fingertips, create a kickstand with your toes. Inhale to prepare. And then exhale to lift the knees just an inch. Here we are at our favorite hover. We're gonna have lots of options from the hover today. So your first one is to just stay right here. Your second option this round is to start to just wag the tail a little. So rocking your hips from left to right. Knees stay pretty low for this variation, but you're just getting a little bit of a side activation here. Wherever you are, one more smooth breath. That's it. If you're wagging, come back to the center. And then we'll all allow the hips to come high to the sky on the exhale, coming into your downward facing dog. Taking a moment to play here in your first down dog of the practice. Maybe bending the knees one at a time, maybe walking the feet back and forth. And maybe playing with the position of the hands and the position of the shoulders. Thinking about spinning the hands towards one another without actually moving them, so that you create a little more space through the shoulder blades. That's it. Maybe 1 or 2 more rounds of playing here, and then settling back into some stillness in the shape. If you need a break at any time, you always can take that, of course. I'm starting to find your way now, having one settling breath in your downward facing dog. And then we're coming up right away. So we're gonna look forward on the inhale, bend the knees, and then take a little walk to the top of the mat. Once you get there, ground through the feet, and then swim the arms out and around as you come up to standing on the inhale. And then exhale, hands to your heart. Yes, really nice there. Great. And then from here, starting to take a big step towards the back of the mat with your right foot. So coming into your high lunge legs, the left leg in the front and the right leg strong and straight behind you. And taking a moment here to make sure you have enough space between your feet so that you feel balanced. We are going to play with a little bit of diving here optionally. So if you feel like you want to do that and you'd like more space, you can take the left foot a little more to the left. Good. And as you feel steady in the legs, then we'll inhale both arms up to the sky, coming into your full high lunge here. Exhaling to allow the arms to come parallel to the earth. And then sweeping the right arm underneath the left, coming into whatever version of the eagle arms felt best for you. You can do the full rock, you can do the shoulder hug, you can be somewhere in between. Wherever you are, take a moment to settle. And then on the inhale, just lifting the elbows up this first round. We're moving the elbows away from the face and up. And then on the exhale, either, once again, squeezing the elbows down towards the chest, staying here, or coming towards that dive, hinging over that left hip. Maybe you come a little more shallow this first round to see what your body wants to do here. And then inhale, take it slow. The balance is different here. Press into the left foot, bring the torso and the arms back up. Inhale to lift the elbows, and then you decide, maybe a little back bend wants to happen. Exhale, coming back to neutral. Arms start to lower, and then maybe take a dive. Maybe the hip allows you to come a little more deeply this time, maybe not. Either way is okay. And here we go. Inhale to come up. Use the legs, use the belly. Smooth, steady rhythm. Once you reach your upright, you'll inhale to lift the elbows, and then maybe take it back last time in the back bend. Watch the balance. Good. And then exhale to come back, lowering the elbows a little, and then diving down if you'd like, bringing those elbows on the inside of that front foot. And this time on the inhale, swimming back up, stopping in your neutral position here. One last lift of the elbows, spine stays straight this time. And then exhale to unthread the arms, start to create that circle, swimming out and around on the inhale. And then hands back to your heart on the exhale. Nice, y'all. Yes, I always welcome to rest at any time. From here, we'll start to hinge forward over that left hip so that you can step your right foot to the top of the mat. Great. Keeping the hands folded at the chest, work on a little balance here. Shift the weight into that left foot so that you can pick your right foot up just an inch or two off the floor. So that right leg is still pretty straight, but it's not connected to the floor. Inhale the spine tall, and then exhale to hinge forward a little bit over that left hip. Right leg starting to kick behind you. So we're not coming too far, just a little here. And then on your inhale, scissor the legs together so that you can pull back up to standing. Keep that right foot lifted if you can. Take a breath here. And then exhale back down. Hinge over that left hip. Right foot starts to move behind you. Yes, Jill, you got it. And then inhale, powerful push through that left foot. Bring the right foot back up. We just got one more breath here. Exhale to tip it forward. This time, maybe you go a little farther. Still not all the way towards warrior three, but you're starting to think about that shape, but we're just not quite there. Holding here. And then as you inhale to come up, press that left foot into the earth, and then maybe bring that right foot up into a tabletop. Last piece. Yes. And then exhale that foot to the earth. Beautiful, y'all. Shake out the legs a little bit. And then one arm circle, clearing it out. Inhaling out and around. Exhaling, hands to your heart. And then just for a moment here, rooting down through both feet. We won't stay long this time, but you'll inhale the spine tall. And then sit it back, coming towards more of a wide-legged chair pose. Just getting a little extra work in the hips and the glutes here. So bending down as if you're sitting in a chair. Hands will stay at the heart this time. Smooth, steady breath rhythm. Spine is long. Weight is in the heels. Like your toes could tap dance if they wanted. Yes. One more breath. And then as you exhale, begin to straighten the legs and then dive the torso forward. Hands coming towards the earth. And then once the hands are reaching towards the earth, bend the knees as much as you need to plant the palms. And then we're heading back down towards the knees. So one at a time, left knee down, and then the right knee down. Feel free to grab your padding, but we're not staying too long. We're going to grip the mat with the fingers. We're going to play with that hover again. More options. So we'll kickstand the toes. Inhale to prepare. And then exhale, push the knees off the earth 1 inch. Options on the table. Staying right here. Wagging the tail back and forth once again. Or maybe taking both heels towards the right, hips towards the right. Left foot plants firmly on the mat, still on the ball of the right foot. Roll the weight to the right hand. Bring the left hand towards your heart. Oh, hello. Maybe. And if you're up, exhale back through your hover. If you took that variation, we'll take the second side. Hips towards the left, heels towards the left. Right foot plants all the way on the earth. Roll the weight to the left hand. Bring the right hand towards your heart. Yeah, Vince, there you go. Yes, great. If you're up, roll yourself back to that hover. And then everyone, wherever we are, big inhale here. And then exhale, hips all the way to the sky. Back to your downward facing dog. Settle in your dog for a breath. And then inhale to look forward, bend the knees, and then take a walk to the top of the mat. Once you're at the top of the mat, press the feet strongly into the earth. Swim the arms out and around. And then exhale, hands to your heart. So we have the second side to go. So from here, stepping your left foot back to the back of the mat. Big reach, coming into your high lunge. Once again, if you know that you want a little more space during the dive, you can take that right foot a little bit closer to the right edge of the mat. Smooth, steady breath. Once you feel strong in the legs, then inhale, arms up to the sky, coming into the full high lunge for a breath. Yes. And then exhale, hands parallel towards the earth. This time, left arm goes on the bottom. Sweep the left arm underneath the right. And then choose your eagle arm shape or the shoulder hug. That's always fine. Whichever way feels best for you. On the inhale, lift the elbows. And then on the exhale, either elbows draw towards the chest and you stay here, or start to dive forward. Maybe a little, maybe a lot. Keep in mind, it's just the first round on this side, lifted. And then inhale, press into that right foot, take it slow, start to come back to your neutral shape. Inhale to lift the elbows. And then this time, maybe start to take it back. Little back bend if you like. Exhale back to neutral, use your belly. And then decide either bringing the elbows towards the chest or starting to hinge forward, come into the dive. Maybe a little farther this time, maybe not. No extra credit in yoga, so you go where you'd like. And then here we come, up on the inhale. Take it slow and steady. Yes, so these look great. Taking a moment here, lift the elbows. Maybe start to take it back into that back bend if you like. And then last time on the dive, exhale back to neutral first. Elbows start to come down. You could stay here or start to dip forward. Yes. Yes, great. Yes, look at you. And then here we go. Last time up. Inhale to stand. Take a moment. Last inhale to lift the elbows. And then exhale, unwind the arms. Inhale to complete your circle, out and around. Exhale, hands come to your heart. Then hinge forward or that right foot, hip, whatever this thing is. So you can step your left foot to the top of the mat. Really nice, y'all. That is not easy. We all did great. We'll take one arm circle as we arrive in standing, swimming the arms out and around. And then exhale, hands to your heart. And then we'll take that little balance now, spreading the toes of the right foot. Shift your weight over that leg so that then you can pick your left foot up off the floor. Left leg stays straight, but foot is not connected to the earth, ideally. Inhaling, both spine long. And then exhale, start to dive just a little. Both legs stay straight. You're hinging over that right hip. One long line from the left heel to the crown of the head. Yes, that's it. And then inhale, use your belly and your legs. Scissor yourself back up to standing. Good. One breath here. And then exhale to tip it forward. Keeping the pelvis level. So if you had headlights on your hips, they would both be on the same path. Inhale, scissor your way up. Tall spine, tall legs. Yes. One last time. Exhale to tip it forward. This time, maybe you go a little farther. We're still not full warrior 3 here. We're just practicing the balance. Yes. Good. And then as you like, inhale back up. And then maybe without touching your foot to the floor, that left foot comes into table. Yes, y'all. And then exhale, left foot to the earth. Beautiful. Shake out the legs. Be excited at what your body can do. And then we'll take that same chair variation so we can spread the feet right underneath the hips here. Inhale the spine long. And then exhale, sit back. Arms stay folded at your chest. We're just getting the legs ready. Breathing smooth and steady. A little attention in the low belly so that we don't have a large arch in the spine. Yep, that's it. One more breath. And then on your exhale, straighten the legs, but dive the torso forward. Hands find somewhere to land on the mat. And then as you feel ready, bending the knees so that you can plant your hands. And then we're coming back down one more time. Left knee finds the earth, right knee finds the earth. Okay, last options for our little hover play here. Everything we've already done still on the menu, and you can mix and match, but I'll give you one last option here. Grip the mat with the fingers, kickstand the toes, inhale to prepare, and then exhale to come up, lift the knees. Choosing your options from before, or Taking both heels to the right, hips to the right. Plant that left foot, roll the weight to the right arm, lift the left. This time, maybe pick up that right foot. Oh, just playing, so just maybe. If you're there, plant the right foot, come back through center, and then try the other side. Shift your heels and your hips towards the left. Right foot plants on the mat, push into that left arm. Right hand comes to your heart, left leg maybe leaves the earth. Yes, that's it. Yeah, good. And then everything starts to replant. Come back towards the middle. One last breath in the hover if you got it. And then everyone exhale, hips high to the sky. One last downward dog. Have a moment to arrive here when you come. And then look forward, bend the knees, walk to the top of the mat. Last little piece here, plant the feet, swim the arms out and up, reach to the sky. Exhale, hands to your heart. Okay, here we go. The moment we've all been waiting for. We're gonna have the feet hip width apart again, slightly, maybe more narrow than the hips, so not shoulder, but more hip here, so just check. And we're gonna build the arms first. So we're gonna inhale the arms straight out in front, reach. And then come into your variation. Right arm is gonna come underneath the left. You could do this still with the shoulder hug, or you'll come into whatever version of your eagle arms you're choosing. Bring the elbows up a little. And then on your exhale, sit back into that chair variation that we've been working with, this time with the arms in your eagle arms. You could stay right here. If you'd like to try the balance, you'll shift your weight into the right foot. Start to come onto the ball of the left toes. Maybe you stay here. Maybe you inhale to lift that left leg up and over the right leg. Maybe the left toes find the earth on the other side as a kickstand. Maybe you stay there. Maybe you sink your hips lower and those left toes tuck around the back of the right ankle. Maybe. Wherever you are, whatever leg position you've chosen, once you're there, see if you can straighten out through the torso. Lift the arms up. Yes. There we go. Great. Great. One last breath here. And then just because we're playing, to unfurl on the exhale, unhook the arms, unhook the legs. Maybe that left leg starts to go behind you and you come into that little hover balance. Susie, yeah, girl, you got it. One last breath, Danny, that's it, Vince, yes. Good. And then swivel into that right hip. Bring that left foot into your table. And then release that left foot to the earth. Oh man, y'all just gave me shivers. Those look so good. Such good playing. Okay, we just have the other side to go. So we're going to inhale the arms out and around. And then exhale, hands to our heart. Okay. Here we go. Inhale to stretch the arm straight forward. This time, the left arm goes underneath the right. Then you decide hooking at the shoulders or hooking into that full eagle wrap, whichever you choose. Then opening the feet a little bit wider so that they're back right underneath your hips. Inhale, spine long. And then exhale, sit it back. Come into that wide chair pose here. And then decide, maybe you stay here. Maybe the weight shifts now into the left foot. Come up onto the toes of the right foot. Maybe stay here. Maybe inhale to lift that right leg up and over the left leg. You can choose to put those right toes on the earth on the outside of the left foot as a kickstand. Or maybe sink the hips lower. Those right toes tuck around the left ankle. Once you feel steady in the legs, then start to see if you can inhale the torso upright. Lift the arms away from the face. Yes, that's it. Really good. Breathing smooth and steady. Okay, preparing to fly as we come out. On the exhale, unfurl the arms, straighten through the left leg. Maybe that right leg goes back. Yes, Hovering here, beautiful, y'all. Yes, made it. One last breath. And then to come out, last little bit. Stand in that left leg. Bring that right leg up to your table, hands to your heart. Then release your right leg to the earth. So great. Shake out the legs, shake out the arms, let it all go. Really nice. Y'all should be proud. Okay, here we are. Swimming the arms out and around on the inhale. Exhale, hands to your heart, and then keep going. Melt the torso towards the earth. Hands find the earth. Left knee finds the earth. Right knee finds the earth. This time, toes kick together, knees come out wide. Either pushing all the way back towards your full child's, or if you'd prefer, take a block for underneath the head and come down onto the forearms. This is fine too if you don't want to fold all the way. You could also just take any seated rest that feels good too. Just slowing down the breath, slowing down the mind, noticing what was possible because you all decided it was okay to play. And it was really fun for me to watch. So I thank you for your playful spirits as well. One or two more breaths down here on the earth. Very gently drawing yourself back up to hands and knees. And then just taking your feet to one side and your hips to the other so you can come to sitting down. And then you'll just come to any comfortable cross-legged position. You can always be up on something too here if you like, but maybe the hips feel a little more settled now. And then from here, we'll inhale both arms up to the sky, coming into that nice wide V shape we had in the beginning of practice. And then on the exhale, you'll tip over towards your right. The right hand will find somewhere to land on the mat. Left arm comes stretching overhead. Smooth, steady breath here. Left hip heavy on the mat. So maybe even give yourself a push with that right arm. If there's a lot of space here in that hip and you can keep your left hip down, you can feel free to come towards your elbow. But if that makes the torso sink down towards the floor, then stay on your hand. And breathing deeply here. And then inhale your way back up. Both arms come towards the sky. And then exhale to tip to the left. Left hand now finding the mat. Right arm reaching up and over. Once again, if there's a lot of space, you can come down onto that left elbow, but just make sure that the torso stays up and that right hip stays heavy. Otherwise, you're up here on your hand. Either way, it's totally fine. Smooth, steady breath. Inhale, both arms back up to the sky, that big wide V for just a moment here. And then last little stretch, we'll bring the arms out into that cactus shape. And then on the inhale, just opening out here, spread through the collarbones, elbows tuck back a little bit. We're just gonna stay here for a moment. That's sort of the counter position to all that contracting we did for our eagle. One more big breath. And gently allow the hands to find the earth on either side of you. And then push the hands into the mat, arch the spine just a little. Roll the heads of the arm bones back. Just smooth and steady here. And gently allow that to release. Hands find your lap. And then if you know you would like to take a cozy alternate Shavasana position, you can start to head that way. If you want to come all the way onto your back, then you'll extend both legs out in front of you. You can shake them out a little bit as you go. And then you'll inhale your arms parallel to the earth like we've been doing all class. And then you'll choose either rolling back with straight legs, tucking in the belly, one vertebra at a time, or you can do that same roll with the knees bent. There's a little less stress on the spine. Either way, head on down. And once you are all the way down, if you're headed that way, then you'll inhale both arms overhead. Big long reach. Maybe even pointing the toes. Expansive breath out through the rib cage. And if you're in that stretch, then on the exhale, gently allow the hands to find the earth. And then one last piece, bending both knees, making the feet come flat on the mat. First step. And then on the inhale, gathering the knees in towards the chest. And then using the hands, one on each knee, guide your knees outward so that the left knee comes somewhere near the left shoulder, right knee comes somewhere near the right shoulder. Maybe staying right here, or if that feels pretty good, then you can inhale the arms through the legs, hook to the outer edges of the feet. If you feel pretty comfortable holding the feet, then maybe the feet start to reach up towards the sky, coming into happy baby. Either way, maybe there's a little rock that wants to happen. And if you're already settling in towards your Shavasana, then just allowing the body to melt into the support. Becoming aware of all your contours and where they touch your support and where they don't. If you're in your happy baby, slow the rocking, release your feet to the earth. And then choose your position for your Shavasana. You could keep the knees bent, just take the feet really wide and knock the knees together. Or you could extend the legs long down the mat. You could put something underneath your knees if you like. And choosing some comfortable place for your arms to land. Something that allows the head of the arm bone to really rest heavily on the earth. You don't want to feel any gaps at the shoulder. Once you feel ready there, then just releasing all conscious control over the breath, over the body. I'll allow the sound of my voice to fade away, give you a few moments of quiet rest, and then I'll call us back together. If you are happy and cozy where you are and you'd like to stay, please stay. If you are feeling ready to come out, you'll start by wiggling fingers and toes gradually in your own timing, making those movements larger and closer to your center. And if you're not already there, you'll roll onto one side and pause there for a moment. And gently, finally, in your own timing, making your way back up to your comfortable seat. No rush. Maybe continuing to keep the eyes closed or just a soft gaze out in front as you arrive. Just keeping the attention internal for a moment more. Finding some place comfortable for your hands to land, maybe in your lap, maybe folded at your chest, maybe one hand on your heart, the other on top, or something else that you choose. But I will close our practice today with a quote from Khalil Gibran, who writes, "And forget not that the earth delights to feel your bare feet, and the winds long to play with your hair." I thank you all so very much for coming together and sharing your practice and your sense of play with one another and with me. I hope you have a really lovely evening and rest of the week. Namaste. All right, my friends, I'm going to turn the recording